It's a 7-inch figure.
You know, at first I thought this was a joke. Seriously, like I seen this and I thought this was a joke. And then you messaged me and you're like, hey, I'm like, what? It's a joke.
And then it's here.
And then it's here. And I'm so confused and...
Now, my... well, I guess we could get into it here before we get into the video. Is, all jokes aside, I don't know how they can actually publicize that this is a 7-inch figure.
I have an issue with that.
This definitely ain't 7 inches. And maybe with the stands, maybe. But I don't... I have a hard time with that one. Listen up, Branders. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnes.
And today we got a very special figure because I'm super excited about this one. Because after seeing the photos, I got really into this. Because from what I've been told, this may be the most poseable figure ever made. Because what we got here...
Let the jokes begin.
is the My Hero Academia McFarlane Toys Toru Hagakure. I hope I said that right. For My Hero Academia, I just know her as Toru. She is the invisible girl. Her quirk is that she's invisible all the time. So technically, she's naked.
You know, I wasn't going to bring that up, but yeah, go for it, see?
Which I don't know how McFarlane got away with it, being able to sell naked girls on a shelf. Especially naked underage girls on a shelf. But I digress. So decided to pick this up. This was a Funimation store exclusive, so if you guys want to check them out, they might still have it up. If you're a subscriber, you got it to pick it up in advance. I picked it up shortly thereafter. Last I checked, they were still available, and it's only going to cost you a whopping $18, which sounds like a steal for, again, the most poseable figure ever made.
Pum, pum, pum.
And the main reason why I bought it, well, that and jokes aside, she'll scale with the Figmas. She'll scale with anything, to be fair. As long as we're talking about like action figure size. But anyways, without further ado,
stands though. I see that.
Yeah, well, you have to be able to hold her up. It's awesome that she comes with stands. How would you know how many figures I always complain about that we get that have a hard time standing by themselves? And you get jack, you literally get nothing to be able to keep it upright. She actually comes with stuff to help her stay up, which I can get behind. Anyways, again, for the packaging, fairly My Hero Academia-esque with a lot of the yellows and oranges. On the side here, you get the logo. Oddly, though, the logo's different. Well, at least different coloring, I guess.
It is, yeah.
And then you can see the figure do striking a pose on the back. Anyways, let's get her open up out of her cardboard prison. All right, let's just get this figure out of here. Huh, it's a lot heavier than I thought it was.
Well, Steve, it takes a lot of room on that table, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely, well, it's 7 inches, man. Like, look at all the space.
I am surprised on the size
that is filled up, that is being filled up by this action figure. But anyways, let's get into her accessories. Alright, so she comes with her shoes. So if you'd like to be able to put the shoe accessories on the figure, she does come with that, because sometimes you want to be able to actually see where your figure is at, right?
Show us how to do that, Steve.
So first and foremost, picking her up. Alright, so first and foremost, this is held in by friction. So you just want to take the leg and then just pop it right in there, and then that keeps it fairly secure, trying to hold onto the figure while showing you guys how it sits. And then once you pop it in, you get a little bit of rotation out of the feet at the bottom. And then I'm going to kind of set her down just a bit, grabbing her with the other hand, then popping that shoe in. Alright, so anyways, first and foremost, it's kind of weird how they have the shoes bending, but you can move the feet a little bit here and there. So if you really want to get flat-footed, you have the option to, but you kind of looks a little odd, which is something that is usually fairly typical for McFarlane's. They want you to have it in one specific position.
Yeah, he's stiffler about that, ain't he?
Yeah, they're more like, I don't know, it's essentially statue-esque, but they give you articulation. Granted, they've gotten better with it with a lot of figures, but this one's a little bit more atypical to this original ideas that they had for the figures. And then I'm going to kind of sit her down. And then she also comes with a pair of gloves that you can put on her. So you get the open hands here. You get the victory sign here. But when you want to put on the figure, first and foremost, you got to remove the original hand. So you want to grab base of the hand, base of the forearm here, and then you just want to pull it out. And then you can see there's a little pig hole there. You just want to line it up and then pop it in. And then once you do, you get a little bit of rotation, a little bit of a swivel, and looks pretty solid. But anyways, I'm going to pop that out. Then grab the other one. You just want to grab the other hand, grab the base, pop that out, take it. All right, got it in. Then you get a little bit of rotation. Same thing, side to side. And looks pretty good on the figure overall.
Oh yeah, not bad.
And then she comes with this stand. So if you don't want to have the hands on your figure here, they give you the option of being able to kind of position them in a way next to the figure so that you don't lose them, which I can get behind. So you get the peg hole here on the bottom of the toe. You can pop that in. Good to go. Then you can kind of rotate that on the base. Then you take the little stand here, which I gotta look at the back of the box. All right, so if I had to venture a guess, I think it's supposed to go here. And then that slides like so. That definitely can't be right.
Huh.
So that, I think, goes like that. And then you take these, peg them in here, peg it in here, and then you get one hand there. And one hand there. I think I did that wrong. No, that's kind of how it's posed on here.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that any better. I think that's how that's supposed to go. So you can have that sitting next to your figure if you want. So you can kind of rotate these if you wanted to. Not really much of a reason to. That's super duper terrifying, so I wouldn't highly recommend it. But you do get the My Hero Academia logo on the bottom of the stand. And that's pretty much it for this guy. One thing I forgot to mention, notice you can actually wiggle these a little bit. Don't go too crazy, but you get
luck, Steve, you're gonna break it.
Some motion with the figure. Going back over her, which again, for a close look at her details, the sculpt is actually really solid. I think they captured the look of her head very nicely. If you guys want to see, pupils look fairly solid. The way they got the body section here looks good too. They actually got really nice curves, which I think they spent a little bit too much time kind of accentuating some of her more feminine qualities, if you will.
Know, usually we complain there's not enough, and I feel like this one has too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right? Especially, like, she's got, like, this little tattoo on the side here, which I don't quite remember, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. And then moving down, the overall leg detailing looks fairly solid, too. She's got a little bit of chunky feet, but, again, kind of gives her a little bit of character, because somehow you got to fill these shoes up, you know?
Yep.
I imagine, like, the way that they got Deku set up, he's probably got a little bit of that, like, Sonic the Hedgehog foot going on. But other than that, not really too much else to talk about. It's just a naked chick. But the way they did the eye detailing looks really nice. Same with the lips turned out really good, which is saying something, because usually with the McFarlane figures, they don't look anything like they do from the anime. Well, this one's, like, almost spot on, which is very impressive. Like, it's almost like Figma-esque, if you will. But anyways, for articulation, her head can look up about that far, down about that far. You get a little bit of rotation side to side, and then a little bit of a wiggle. For her arms, can go up about that far, down about that far. You get the rotation all the way around, and then can kind of lift up about that far, get a single joint at the elbow, which doesn't give her quite a lot of play, but it's enough. Yeah. And then we mentioned the hands. Moving down to her waist, nothing at the chest, but at the waist section, you can move her a little bit forward and back. You get a little bit side to side motion. Her legs can go outwards about that far, inwards about that far, when you go to rotate her, but kind of gets in the way, which is to be expected. And then can go forward about that far, which works pretty well. Single jointed knee. If I can get a hold of it, it's kind of a little bit stiff. You can bend that about that far. And then straighten it up. Oh yeah, you get a little bit of rotation at the top of the thigh. And then, just like we showed with the feet, you can move forward to back. Rotation, and then a little bit of wiggle side to side. Here's quick comparisons. Here we have the McFarlane Toys Toru figure compared next to some other My Hero Academia figures from Figma with Deku and Uraka, which I will say she's probably a little too big compared to these. It's not bad per se, but her hands are the size of Deku's, which I don't know if that'd be correct. I guess it's not too bad now, actually thinking about it, because you figure she's wearing gloves. Aravity's not. So, I guess it fits. Their shoes are about the same. Hey, she's next to some Band Presto statues of Aravity and Frappe, as for their hero names anyways. Hey, here she is, some other random My Hero Academia figures I got with the McFarlane Toys All Might and the Pop-Up Parade Uraka from Good Smiles, which... she's probably slightly too big. All Might, I guess, works. And here she is, some other fairly inexpensive anime figures in my collection with the Gundam Universe Tallgeese from Gundam Wing and the Jazzwares Pokemon Select Charizard. And then for some other questionably dressed female anime characters that I have in my collection, we have some S-style figures from Freen, which are the swimsuit versions of Kaguya from Kaguya-sama Love is War and Akane from SS Gridman. So overall for the Toru action figure from McFarlane Toys, this is easily probably one of the most accurate anime figures we have ever gotten.
Oh yeah, the details, the amount of details they paid to this is unreal. Like, it's just 100% most accurate. For sure.
Okay, I think this joke is going on long enough. To be fair, I would say actually this is probably one of the most accurate anime figures we've ever gotten. But she's invisible.
What the hell?
Oh, why did I pay $18 for this?
Again,
sorry, 19 plus shipping.
Again, I thought you were joking, Steve.
Alright, so personally for me, I think this should have been like $10. Like, this should have been like the price of like an accessory set. And to be honest, this figure's kind of highway robbery for what you get. Like, McFarlane found a way to sell air.
And you people are buying
some people are buying it because I see they're still for sale. So they didn't sell out because that's my thing I was worried about. Was because of how unique this figure is. And I can't even call it a figure, it's a statue.
It's a statue.
It's a statue. It's not really a figure because you can't really pose it, per se. Like, it's a stretch saying that the stand is your opposable joints. Yeah. To be honest, I think the way they should have did this was made a clear figure with the gloves and the boots.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't have been a bad idea.
Should have been a translucent figure. I think that would have actually been kind of cool because then you actually could have posed it, and I think it would actually kind of been like a nice little touch. And then also, if you decide to make alternate versions, which McFarlane likes to do, so if you want to do the Scroll Girl version, you already have the parts for it.
Yeah.
You just gotta make the body for the uniform, and bam, you're good to go.
It's done.
And you still get the stuff, which that I think I would have been more acceptable with, and maybe they could have done more stuff with just using clear translucent figures. Because they could even maybe did something like what Figma and Figuarts did with like the artist figures in that regards then. Because you have the mold, just make them base gray and sell them as basic figures.
Yep.
Because then people could paint them too. Like, there's a lot of options you could have done with just using the mold for what this could have been. And would have been better at the price point, because she runs about as much as what the normal McFarlane's, the My Hero Academia go for.
Which is the part that blood hurts.
Yeah, so the only reason I would get this is if you like buying joke figures, because this is literally a joke figure. That, or you're going to bank on this thing being expensive at some point, or you really like My Hero Academia, then this is probably one of the more unique things you could buy. Because to be honest, like, the way it's presented, I think, makes it interesting at least. Like, it's definitely a conversation piece. Like, why do you have an empty box? Well, she's an invisible character, blah, 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 blah. Like, I get the selling points, but I think for how much investment that the company put into this, they could have done a lot more.
Yeah.
So I can't really condone buying this, but I could see why people would. But what do you guys think? If you guys picked up this figure, let me know if you thought it was good too. And what's your favorite My Hero Academia figure? Is you? How can you show us what you think? Please let us know in the comments. We also have a Patreon, Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. If you guys like to keep up to date with the channel and donate, we greatly appreciate it. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.